Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to one of your favorite English podcasts. This is Chat Chat. I'm teacher April, and with me, as usual, is teacher Carlos.
Hello everyone. How's it going?
Excellent. How about you, teacher Carlos? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying this day, and it seems to be a nice day. And also, I'm excited about today's episode.
Yes, me too. We have a very special guest. I think she has a lot of interesting things to tell us about her experience. But before we get into that, teacher Carlos, can you tell us, remind us, please, where can we listen or watch to this podcast?
Yes, guys, remember to follow us as Columbus School BCS in every social media. Well, almost every social media, like Facebook,
Mhm.
Instagram. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also you can watch the whole episodes with video and audio in YouTube. So please go and check them, and also share it with your friends, with your family, and with any of your classmates to practice your listening skills. That would be great, and that'll help us a lot to grow this project that we have going on.
That is right. And also, you could practice your speaking. You can be one of your guests, one of our guests here. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. You can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram and just tell us, hey, I want to be there too. And we can arrange something up. That would be great to have you here.
Yes, definitely.
So now let me introduce our guest today. She's Aranza Vazquez. Hello, Aranza. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
No, it's our pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. So, Aranza, I heard a little bird told me that you were actually a student at Columbus. Is that right?
Yes, I was. I think I studied there maybe for 4 or 5 years, English. And then
That's a lot.
I stopped for a while because I'm a diver. And at one point, I was like really into practicing. Like I had a lot of competitions. I was living a lot. I was going to other states, a lot of competitions. So I had to stop. But I kept having English in my school, so I never really stopped learning. But I stopped going to Columbus at like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But it was a great experience.
That's great.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it was a great experience with us, and it is a good thing that you didn't fully stop with English. That's amazing. And from what you were saying a little bit about being a diver, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I started when I was 4. So I've been practicing now for 14 years, almost 15 this year. So it's been my whole life. My whole life, it's been about diving.
Mhm.
And diving actually helped me a lot of wanting to learn English. It was really hard at the beginning because I really didn't like the language. Didn't like learning languages, and I didn't like English. So it was very hard for me at the beginning, like keep going every Saturday because of practices. I had to go Saturdays at like it was like 4 hours a day. So it was
Yeah.
really like I had to practice all week and then I had to go to classes again on Saturday. So it was really hard, but my dad always kept us, like me and my brother. Uh, he always told us like English opened so many like doors, not even just for diving, but like for everything, for job applications. If you want to go like to study abroad or anything else, it's really helpful. And because I was starting to go to competitions internationally, I went to other countries. I met other people from other countries, and the language that they spoke was English. So I was like, I really want to talk to them, but I don't know English. Like I knew basic stuff,
Mhm.
um, because all my elementary school and middle school, I was in public schools. They don't have like the best level of English,
Mhm.
but it was really hard. And then I started to like I don't know how. I don't know the point where I was like, oh, now I know English. Like I don't know when I started speaking. I don't know when I like started understanding every single thing that I heard, or like most part of it. But then I was like excited because I could talk to people now. I was really shy. I'm still very shy. So it was just a whole journey. Like at the beginning, I didn't like it, but then when I started like learning it and realizing that I could speak it, that I could like listen to people and understanding. It was like really excited and like I kept going. But yeah, like diving helped me a lot on that, like motivation of like I want to talk to people
Uh-huh.
from other countries, and they don't speak Spanish. I can speak English, so now it's been really fun.
That's funny because many of us can relate to that notion in which at some point when we were young we were trying to learn English because our parents were always saying, you know, why English is so important in your life and yada yada yada. And I can relate
Yes.
to that because I actually started learning English or studying English at Columbus. So now I'm a teacher there. So I can see the whole thing. And actually, I was in middle school when I started at Columbus, which probably was the worst time ever for me because yeah, I was forced to do things, and I also did sports.
Mhm.
So I had sports and English, and of course, I prefer sports. And I
Yeah.
felt that I was losing time here and energy and things like that. And now I see what how important it was for me, and also
Mhm.
the doors that open in front of me when I have the opportunity to communicate with other people from around the world. Even if we don't speak the same language, we can always use English. And I think that we can all relate to that. That's the thing. Relatable stories can help us see that we are not alone and that we can have a better experience. That's awesome.
Yeah, and like my dad, because I was good at diving and I had good grades. My dad always told me that I could go study abroad, like with a scholarship to the US. The US has like the best program in like college career.
Mhm.
So my dad always told me like you have to learn English if you want to go to the United States. So now I'm in the United States. I'm studying at North Carolina, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill at UNC. So it,
Wow,
yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was just a whole journey. As like first didn't want to speak English because even when I knew English, like I couldn't speak it like when I like 2018 I could defend myself like talking with people, but I'm
Mhm.
really shy. I'm like it's hard for me to like open and like talk to everyone, so I didn't speak at competitions even if I had the opportunity.
Mhm.
And now I'm there, like I got there the 20 like November last year 2020. And same, I was really shy, like I was not talking to anyone. I was like just saying some stuff because I knew I had the level of English. I took the TOEFL exam to get like if to see if I had the in like the level to study in a university in
Mhm.
the US now. And I knew I had the level, but still I was like I don't want to talk to anyone. And actually, I was in the in high during high school. I was in the Instituto Mexico Bilingüe, and they had like these programs. This I had 10 hours of English a week, and four of them were just speaking because there was a teacher that it was from Canada, so he didn't speak Spanish. So the only thing that we could do was speaking in English, and my level improved so much when I just like I had to speak English because I understood it and I was like keeping up with my classes and doing grammar stuff and all that. But of course I was with my friends and my teacher was from Uruguay, so she spoke Spanish. So I didn't have to force myself to speak English. So then
Mhm.
with these classes of like just speaking, I've improved so much. And now like when I got to the US, I was a little more confident about speaking and now I feel like I've improved even more. Like every single day for the past 4 months was English.
Yes.
So actually, when I cut like right now, I'm in Mexico City for a training camp, and when I got to the airport, it was so weird to hearing so much
Yeah.
English. I was like, "What's going on here?"
Coming back,
So
right?
yeah, it was great. Like of course, but it was so weird. So I don't know. It's just like now that I think about it, like talking about it, it's been a whole journey. And now from not liking it, now I'm in the university in United States, right? Like I have
Yes.
to speak English.
Yeah,
And do
that's
you think you like it now? Do you enjoy it now, the language?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I still feel like I can improve more. Um, but yeah, like I'm really shy. Like I talk with my friends there and my teammates. They're like, now you're gonna talk. And they were like, I'm going to the World Cup in a few weeks, in 2 weeks. And they're like, now you're gonna talk to people. I'm like, no, I'm not, because I still don't like speaking English. I don't know why, but like my friends are always like, your English is great, like it's your second
Yes, it
language.
is.
It is great. Yes.
It's your second language, and like you can defend yourself, like you can study in the US, you should be able to talk to people in the competition. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yes, it happens. I mean, there's something about English that I always try to understand. Like, I don't know why, but I sometimes feel more confident in English with kind of more effusive when I speak, right? In Spanish, I kind of go like in a monotone sometimes, but when I use English, something different happens. I mean, like there's something about it that helps me being more confident, and I feel that I'm more, I don't know, objective when I talk. I don't
Yeah.
go around things. So I don't know. It has helped me a lot with the communication, and that's the case. I mean, we really like to have conversations with people that have had opportunities like you, and to make them see that it's possible to have all of those dreams that you can realize now, that you can see your progress. You can go back, look at yourself like 4 years ago. How was your way of thinking, and now how different it is, and how many people you are meeting. And I don't know, that's great. I think it's a whole journey, right?
That's been so good. Like the amount of people that I know now because of the language, like because I speak English, it's just crazy. Like in my team, my diving team, there's people from Austria, there's people from Switzerland, there's people from Greece, there's people from all around the world. And it's like sometimes I'm like talking to them, I'm like, you're from Austria, I'm from Mexico, and we can talk to each other because of this language. Like it's so
Yeah,
crazy.
and probably they are also nervous because of their English level. i
Yeah.
i I could assure you that.
Yeah, sometimes they like it happens like they don't know the words in like they know the word in like in Germany in German, but they don't know the word in English. So like that happens to me, saying like I don't know the word in English and I know in Spanish, so I have to like describe the situation, like what's doing the person, like, and what it is. Like as some like they help me a lot. They don't like I'm not embarrassed of like doing that because they're not like that. They're really impressed that we speak two languages. So like my friends from Switzerland, he speaks French, German, and English. So they're not like making fun of us because we don't know a word. It's just like
Yeah.
our mind goes like, what is this word in Spanish? What is it in English? It's crazy.
Yes. So that is a good tip and actually a very useful tool as well. If you're not sure, like it is very hard. I'm not sure if it's possible to know all of the words, all of the
Yes.
vocabulary, right? So whenever you get stuck in a conversation, you don't know, you just cannot remember the word, you know it, but you can't remember. So a good tip, something very
Yeah.
useful, is to describe the thing or situation or whatever the word means, so they can help you figure out the
Yeah,
meaning
like
or the
actually,
word itself.
yeah, this happened to me last week. I was talking with my friends and I met.
Yes.
I actually still don't know the word. They have told me the word and I don't remember. Like it's so hard. It doesn't stick in my head. Like I don't know the words. So I'm like every time I talk about this friend that she's in the team in the canotaje team, and I'm like I don't know the word in English. So I start like you're in the lake, like in a boat, and you're like this, and they told me the word, but it's not in my head. Like right now, it's not in my head. I don't know why. It just like goes. It goes from my one ear to the other one, and it just go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal when we have a concept so stick to our psyche, right? it's
Yeah,
it's, it's very common to get things like that. But it's fun to have friends that can remind you the words. I mean, I forget words in every language, so that's the thing. So some people, when they know that you speak either or French or English, they go like, wow, you're like a superior being. No, I keep forgetting words all the time.
yeah.
So yeah, there you go. That's funny. That's funny how it
It's
works.
it's so funny, and like when I try to describe the things, like the most basic like description. but I really like I cannot remember. I think like I'm thinking the word in Spanish, but I don't know it in English. It's like it's
Mhm.
this thing. It's so frustrating sometimes. Like sometimes I don't like sometimes I wake up and I get into my classes and I have no idea what the teacher is saying. Like my brain is just not working in English. It takes me like 10 minutes to like, okay, just pay attention and like try to understand because like it's so funny how sometimes I really don't know what is going on.
It happens to me in Spanish too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in Spanish is the same. Like
Like
I was
there are
talking with
some
my
days I
parents.
just
Yeah, because
nothing.
yeah, it happens a lot. Like I was talking with my parents and I was trying to so ubicación in English is location. So I was
Yes.
Yeah.
trying to explain them like I'm living in this place next year. And I said like I was speaking Spanish with my parents and I was like la locación of this place. And my dad was like what? I was like la locación. And he was like, that's not the word in Spanish, that's a word in English. And I was like, oh, that's true. So like sometimes I just like it's like kind of like pocha, I forget the words in
Yeah.
Spanish and mix it. It's
Yeah.
so crazy.
You create your own language now.
I speak
Happens to
Spanish.
me too. Yeah.
I
And
have a
I
question.
sometimes I oh yeah, go ahead, teacher.
Academically speaking,
Mhm.
did you struggle at the beginning with, I don't know, because you mentioned that you are studying in the US, right? So everything that you are checking, I don't know, academically speaking, of course, your classes, subjects, and everything was suddenly in English.
Yes.
Now, did you struggle with that change?
I didn't struggle that much. Like, of course, it was kind of like weird or kind of like hard. Like, everything that I was reading, everything that I was listening, everything was in English. It
Mhm.
was like, of course, it was a change, but I don't think it wasn't that hard because I had like the level, like a good level to understand it. It was really hard with the writing part. My grammar, it's not the best.
Okay.
So the writing part was really hard. That was really hard because I don't know, like I was trying to use the words that I would use in Spanish, but they didn't work in English. Or like
Mhm.
either way, like from English to Spanish, they didn't exist.
Transferring.
Yeah, like translating things, it was really hard. And then I don't know, like that part was really hard. And it's like I'm getting better, but it's a slow process. Like still my papers are not the best, but I think I'm getting better on them. But like listening and reading wasn't that hard because they were like basic classes. So it was like a lot of like introduction to these new concepts. Like so, I took a class that it was sociology, and it was like a lot of concepts, and the professor was really like descriptive. Like she describes them like a lot, like in details, to so we could understand them. So that was really helpful. That I took
Mhm.
like basic courses, like starting my journey from high school, like Spanish high school, to college in English. So it was a change, but it wasn't that hard, and I think it was really helpful that I stayed. So I didn't go to the US during summer because of the visa thing. Like all the
Yeah.
borders were closed and stuff. I didn't have enough time to do all those process. Um, and I stayed home with my mom. So my mom was really like helpful. I had her like she stayed with me up all night if I had to. Like it was really like she was really supportive. So that change wasn't that hard because I was still at home and my mom and my dad were there. But I have a friend that she's actually here with me. She went to LSU too. She's from Guadalajara, and she told me that for her she went during the summer. Her English wasn't the best. She didn't study English during high school or middle school because she did like online high school because she was like really like into practices, into
Mhm.
diving. So she didn't have um like that experience, like that school experience. So it was really hard for her to go to LSU and like having to learn everything in English, having to like keep going with classes because she wasn't used to it anymore. So she had a really like hard first year. Like her first year was really hard for her but for me it wasn't that bad. So like we have these two stories, right? Like my friend struggling a lot and I was like kind of like struggling, but at the same time it wasn't that bad. But it was same because I had a better like better level than her, so it wasn't that hard for me. Like reading helped me a lot to the grammar and to like how to use the words and maybe for the essays, but
Mhm.
still the writing part it was just so hard and it's still so hard.
There's always a skill that makes you struggle, like
Yes.
Yeah.
either listening, speaking, writing, or even reading, depending on how you are. I think that's
Yeah.
part of our skills and different personalities. And for example, I find really I worry about writing a lot because I'm not used of writing all the time by hand, right? So tests are normally by hand and things like that. We are used all the time to use the auto corrector in phones and all the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of struggling. And I remember that when I was a student, I was worried about speaking. And it was my main worry because I didn't realize that it was my fault because I wasn't practicing enough,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
once I started practicing, and I always say this, as soon as I started as a teacher and I had to speak English all the time
Mhm.
with my students, my speaking went even higher, and I
Yeah.
felt more confident. And the more I spoke, the more confident I felt. Now I'm in a place where I know that there's a lot more to learn, but I still can communicate very fluently and I can have very interesting conversations with people. So that's
Yeah.
great.
In my case, I think the easiest one was listening. I think that was the first one that I like could like realize that I knew English because like my listening was getting better and I like listened to the song, like just basic stuff, like listen to songs and like trying to understand what they were saying. And
Mhm.
then it went to a point where I didn't have to think about it, like I just like sing it and I knew what was going on in the song. But that
Yeah.
was really helpful, like just trying to learn like what the song meant, like what the singer was meaning. That was really helpful. And I think listening was the easiest one. And I think that's something that helped me a lot was like watching movies in English with the subtitles in English, because like I could like make like the relation between like what they were saying and what was happening in the subtitles, like even like the spelling, like I didn't know how a word was spelled, and like I read it in the subtitle, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like it was just, that
Yeah.
helped a lot. And I think that speaking was the second easiest one, but the writing was so hard, and reading, like having to answer questions from the reading was really hard at the beginning. Like when I did the TOEFL exam, that part was the one that I struggled the most. Like I had to take it
Mhm.
2 times because of that part. It was so hard, like having to read and comprehend what was going on in the reading. But I feel like if you start like with the thing that you think you're most like comfortable doing, like for me was listening, like just listening to things, like watch movies in English and like put the subtitles in English. That helped me a lot.
Mhm. Also, the reading in the exams, I think, can be a little bit more tiring. So
Yes.
maybe that's why, like, you really have to focus a lot,
Mhm.
and it is time consuming, and you have to go
Mhm.
back and forth and back and forth. So, yeah, it is in tests, it is not that much of a breeze, right?
Yeah,
The,
because
the
now I read
reading part.
in English and I can answer the questions. I have no problem. But during tests, I have like 40 minutes to read like 5 passages and like answer 45 questions, right? So like
Mhm.
it's kind of like a lot going on.
Yeah, I recently did a I recently did a test, a certification, and
Mhm.
they gave us some tools. I actually took the course here in Columbus and all that. And teacher Dina, who was the one who taught us the course, the preparation course, she gave us very useful tips. So from all my English learning up until last year, I found like a really good strategy to work through those reading exercises. So it is a lot of, I think, like you have to train your mind on how to solve them, and then do a lot of them so you can start
Yeah.
doing it easily. A little bit like training, I guess.
Yeah. It's just like that. Like you just keep practicing and practicing and practicing, like until you feel comfortable. Like in this case, in diving, is you're like do the dive, until you had the dive of like 10. And it's I think it's the same with when you're studying for tests, like reading tests. Like the more you practice it, the easier it's gonna be.
And also the writing, since
Yes.
it's the one that you feel not the most confident at.
Yeah.
Just keep training. I am really sure that you will get better and better every time.
Yeah, and I feel that way. Like I know that I improved a lot during like last semester. Last semester my classes were a lot of writing, and this semester is a little more relaxed, but I feel like my improvement, I know that I've improved because I have friends that like proofread it for me just to make sure that I answer the prompts and stuff. And
That's
they
nice.
like this is so good, like you didn't have like much to change. It was really good. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm improving.
That's great also to have friends to help you out.
Yeah,
Like
actually
what you read.
my team is so supportive. Like I'm so lucky to have that team. Like there's just the best team that I've ever met. Like we're so close to each other. Like they help me a lot with all the processes, so it's been great.
That's amazing. Well, unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So we're going to close now with today's episode.
Yeah, it went by really fast.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I know.
really fun. I feel like I talked a lot. I'm sorry. Like,
Oh, no worries. That's the point.
That's what it's all about.
I hope that I gave like some tips of like doing some stuff, like just keep practicing and like do whatever like you feel you are comfortable.
What if we put it like this? If you had to give one advice to our viewers,
Ooh.
what would you say? Just one.
Maybe I think the one that was more like the most useful for me was watching movies in English and with the subtitles in English. I think that was just so good for the listening part and like the spelling and even the grammar, because like you know what they're using, like you know the words, you know like the verbs they're using. So it's really helpful to like what words I can use when I'm speaking, what words I'm gonna use like when I'm writing. And like of course the reading, you have to read fast. Like I feel like that's the most like the best advice that I can do. Like just watch the movies, TV shows, cartoons, whatever you're watching in English with subtitles in English. That's gonna be so helpful.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Aranza. It has been a pleasure. No, thank you. Really, it was amazing. And guys, this is exactly the doors everyone mentioned when they say like you should study English. Aranza is the best example. She took an amazing opportunity, and English was one of the factors that helped her. Only one, because she also had the discipline of diving, really good grades. So it is one of the keys that will help you open that door.
Yeah, definitely.
And even if
thank you so much
right now, like if your parents are just like pushing to go to classes, you're gonna be so grateful of what time.
Yes.
Yes.
Just a short story. We went to Canada 1 year, and my brother and I were the only ones that spoke English. So like it was a big group. Like we were like 10, and my brother and I we were the only ones that knew how to speak English. So when we came back, like my brother and I, we were so grateful to my parents. We were like, thank you for like taking me to the classes. I knew how to survive.
There you go.
So you're gonna be so grateful in the future, even if you don't like it right now.
And they go like, one day you will thank me for what I'm doing right now. Right now you hate me, but tomorrow you will know. And yes, they were right. Listen to your parents.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me too, definitely. I was like so tired, ready to throw the towel, and then you're gonna thank me one day.
Yeah.
And now I thank them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Excellent.
sure.
Well, very good tips and advices, Aranza. Thank you for sharing all of your experiences with us.
Of course.
I think they will be very helpful for
Yes.
the listeners that we
Yes.
have.
I hope so.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Thank
So we
you.
wish you keep doing a great job and improving and enjoying this big opportunity that you have made for
Thank you.
yourself. Thank you for joining us, Aranza.
Thank you
We
for
hope
having
to,
me.
yeah, we hope to have you again later.
Yeah, that would be
that
awesome.
would be good. Yeah, that would be great. Like talk about other stuff. That would be awesome. Just let me know and I'll be there.
Perfect.
Excellent. Yes. Write it down. Write it down.
Yes, yes, yes. We will take your word right now.
Take it, please.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for joining us. Even if, I mean, if either you're watching us or listening to us, thank you so much for joining. Now you know Aranza's story. And if you want for us to have her back, please let us know as well. Send us a message. Or
Yeah.
listening. Mhm.
And also, guys, don't forget, we are on social media as Columbus School BCS. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and watch us and listen to us on YouTube. Please remember to share, like, subscribe, everything that you need to do. That would be very important for us. And also, we will help us continuing with this awesome project and meet more awesome people like Aranza.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. See you next
Thank you,
time.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.